Hi everybody, Marcus from Heel Toe Automotive, and welcome to Heel Toe Corner Club Podcast. This podcast is here to support HeelToeAuto.com, an online Honda and Acura parts retail specialist. We have been online since 2002, providing great products and services and advice to Honda owners, Honda enthusiasts, Acura enthusiasts since day one. We support cars from the 80s all the way up to today. Not to sound like Casey Kasem in the weekly top 100, we do hold a pretty high esteem for the earlier Hondas in the 80s. I have one myself, an 85 CRX. I've always had some kind of an 80s Honda, but we also have a brand new TLX Type S as well that we develop parts for. So if you're into Hondas, we're for you. And in this podcast today, I wanted to just talk briefly about a question about parts warranty. You know, these aftermarket parts that we deal with, coilover kits, clutches, what have you, body kit stuff, like the quality runs the gamut. You can get really cheap stuff, you can get really expensive stuff. The really expensive stuff, you know it when you have it. They're well-documented product. There's product support available from the manufacturer. There are a community of people that are able to support and back you up with those types of things. The cheap stuff, it's very easy to buy. You could buy on eBay or Amazon or cheap websites or whatever. And you'll get a lot of supporting commentary from people necessarily telling you that they have it and it's great and whatever. But if you have a problem, you won't really run into an ability to get a lot of support on those products. And then you got some stuff that's sort of in the middle. Not particularly high end, trying to meet a good price point, serving the masses, quality products that aren't immune to having an issue every once in a while, but it's the stuff that most of us sort of like want to buy, right? Well, all of these different companies will have a range of different support available. And the first thing you need to understand about aftermarket performance parts and warranties is oftentimes once you're using it for a couple of months, you're going to have a difficult time getting a warranty fulfilled on it. It doesn't mean that support isn't available. It just means that it's going to be a little difficult, right? Oftentimes, these are parts that you can't drive your car without. Oftentimes, the manufacturer is going to want to have a bunch of questions answered, specs, how did you do this, who did that? They're going to want to know enough about the failure to know how to proceed with helping you resolve it. Most manufacturers, when you go and say, hey, there's something wrong with my product, I need a warranty, the first thing they go is, okay, let's figure out the problem. Let's figure out if we can fix it remotely, and then we'll figure out if a warranty is due or not. So, as the customer, don't take your brain straight to, I need something fixed or replaced. Take your brain to, hey, I've got a problem, I need help. Now you're there, you see it, you have a mechanic maybe helping you. It seems maybe obvious to you what's going on, but you don't have the position of demanding what the warranty or support process looks like. You kind of got to jump through their hoops. You got to do it with IT people at work maybe. You got to do it, with your stereo. I mean, I had a Bose stereo that I had to, call those people 3 times before I gave up on it. And they had a whole string of support that needed to happen. And finally, I was able to send the thing in for a fix or repair, but you got to kind of get there first. It's your car, and you're passionate about it, and you got to drive it. We all understand that, but becoming the upset customer that demands that something be fixed or replaced now, and I don't want to pay anything, is kind of unreasonable and not going to get you the best help, right? The best help is going to come if you're professional-ish, as professional as you can be. Provide the answers to the questions. Try not to provide a whole bunch of ancillary information. Nobody really cares about your technician's qualifications. Nobody really cares about how many race cars you've built in the past. Your resume and their resume isn't really relevant to a warranty claim, right? A warranty claim or getting support on the product is them asking questions and you providing quality answers. When they say, what kind of noise is it? Think about what kind of noise it is. Is it a clunk or a bunk or a bang or a clang? There are different types of noises, and you may have to reach into your back pocket and kind of simulate the sound. If you're on the phone, you may need to think, oh, it sounds kind of like a this doing a that. these things help, right? But being patient with those questions and getting them answered, giving the measurements that they're looking for, maybe even taking something apart and taking a look and inspecting it a little deeper, is all going to be helpful. So just understand that when you're buying these performance parts for your car and it's like an upgrade or whatever, and you're really amped about it, like you're entering into a realm of, I may have a problem with this, and that's part of hot rodding cars, and so to speak. Even if you're mild rodding it or hot modding it necessarily, like the reason why the car is designed with quality in the first place is so that the auto manufacturers only have to deal with stuff that's like way outside the lines. Like stuff that you would get your car warrantied for at the dealer is usually kind of stuff that's like, not the typical, right? Most of the parts on the car don't fail out of the box. And most of the aftermarket performance parts you buy aren't going to fail out of the box either, and most of them won't fail at any point at all. But when they do, nobody should be surprised, especially if you didn't pay top dollar. If you paid top dollar, that's something different. So anyway, that's all I was really trying to do, is give some perspective in these matters. I've had a couple of, forehead sweating situations recently with customers trying to get warranties served and, just being impatient with the process, even though the processes may be dumb, even though they may seem like they're not being helpful, even though it seems like you're being made to jump through hoops. Like, they have processes for a reason. Really, if they have a process at all, that's a good sign, right? Just follow it, right? If the company that you bought the coilovers through doesn't even have a phone number or an email that they'll answer, that's a bigger problem, right? So deal with the process, get through it. You may or may not come out what you feel is whole in the end, but we're all just trying to fix up our cars, right? Maybe trying to have a backup daily car, right? That's what Honda Fit is for, isn't it? All right. Well, thanks everybody for listening. Hopefully I was able to connect with some of you and put you at ease when you may ultimately have to deal with the warranty process. Just stick with it. It's always going to be a little bit difficult or arduous, but they're just trying to help. Okay, guys. Have a great day. Thanks for listening. Heel Toe is in your corner.